Suicide is the biggest killer of men under 50 in the UK. Seems like an important subject to talk about. Might not want to hear it, might not want to listen, but it's something that's hard for people to understand or grasp, how someone can come to a logical, rational conclusion that the only way to stop their life being the way it is to end their life. But it's not an emotional outburst, it's not an emotion, a feeling, a mood, something that will pass, change or be replaced. It is a logical, rational conclusion. That's probably hard for people to really understand and grasp for what it is, but no one chooses to go. It's kind of like the electrics in your house. You've got all the little breaker switches and the one main breaker. It's like the suicidal state gets turned on and you can't find all the little switches to turn off the individual parts, so you just pull that one big switch and turn it all off in one go. And no one wants to go. Everyone in this state chooses to fight to stay. Every day you choose to fight to stay. But it's so hard to put across to people. I've seen documentaries about suicide and stuff, and they say, oh, he was always so strong, I wouldn't have thought he'd take a weak option, and go on about how strong people were, but the problem is people judge you on the strength you've shown. They don't understand where you are, and they can't comprehend someone so strong taking a weak option. It's not a weak option. It's a logical, rational conclusion, but the fact is, you watch something like The World's Strongest Man, you've got someone holding an axe in each hand, and they've got to hold them up and keep their arms horizontal, and as soon as their arms drop down below, they're out of the competition. That's still the strongest man in the world, but he's tired. He still has that strength, he still is that strongest man in the world, but he's tired, and that's the difference. It's not weakness, it's tired. It's like your immune system. You get overwhelmed, you get a cold or whatever, no matter how strong your immune system is, there'll still be something that will take over, it will still be weakened, and that's what happens. You fight to stay every day, and the more you fight, the less strength you have to keep fighting, and you get to a point where you're tired and no one wants to understand it, because all they want to do is focus on how strong they've seen you being. And you try and explain things, and people say stupid stuff like you need to let go of the past or whatever. But the thing is, the only reason you'd think I was strong is because all the strength you've seen me show in the past. So if you could let go of the past and stop telling me how strong you've seen me being, then maybe we could communicate in the moment. So if you think it's such a problem for someone to not let go of their past, then who's the real problem? You, who's judging me by the past where you've seen me being strong, or me in the moment telling you I'm too tired to keep fighting? You know, if someone was to say, for instance, that they're in Paris, would you then expect them to tell you the entire journey from their house, how they drove there, every road they took, every turning they took, every signpost they saw, every landmark, everything that they saw along the way, for you to believe that they were in Paris? No, you'd accept the destination that they're at. And that's the problem. You tell people the destination that you're at. I'm at the logical, rational conclusion that the only way to solve the problems in my life and stop my life being the way it is to end my life. And they don't understand that as a destination. So therefore they demand that you tell them the journey to the destination. Now, I wouldn't need to tell you about the past. I don't really need to discuss the past. All I should have to do is tell you where I am right now. But you won't accept where I am right now. So you demand I tell you my journey to that destination. But then in the process of me telling you the journey, I can only tell you about the past. I can only tell you how I got here by going through all those turnings I took, all the signposts I saw, every landmark that got me to this destination. So for you to then tell me I need to let go of the past, it's a little bit hypocritical to say the least. I'm standing here in the moment telling you where I am. You won't accept where I am unless I prove it. The process of proving it just makes you disrespect me even more. How does that help? You see, if it's such a problem for someone to not be able to let go of their past, why can't you let go of the past of thinking my life was perfect every time that you dumped your shit on me? Why can't you let go of the past where you thought I was strong? Why can't you accept you're wrong? Why is it me who has to be wrong? Why can't you contemplate things from some other side than your own selfish self-fulfillment? Why did that person seem so strong to you? That person who committed suicide, that person who told you they're suicidal, why do you think they're so strong? What, because they've got the strength when you're too weak? They're so much stronger than you. When you look at yourself, you realise that person's strong, and you look at them and you see they're strong. You see I'm strong. Why? Because you're so weak. If you weren't so weak, you wouldn't think I was so strong, would you? Yeah, so what do? You dump your shit on them. You dump your shit on them over and over again. You keep dumping your shit on them, dumping your shit on them, and then when they're gone, you want to cry for yourself because you've lost your comfort blanket. Yeah, fuck you calling them weak. Fuck you crying over you're broken now. How's someone meant to tell you that their life's in such a mess when you're standing there crying because you stepped in dog shit, crying because you're broken out, crying because you wanted a blue bike but you got a red one? Fuck is wrong with you? Pathetic people. Sitting there moaning over the smallest things, expecting me to be strong. Expecting someone in a total mess to be strong, but you know what? What can we do? Other than be alright. You get up, you drag yourself through the day, you put your clothes on, you get washed, you go out, people start dumping their shit on you, and you crack a little joke to make their shit go away because you can't stand having even more shit on your mind, and you do your absolute best to deflect. Oh, and then what do they tell you? Oh, but you're always happy, you're always alright, you get up, you get dressed, you keep yourself clean. How can you be depressed? And then they want to load more shit on you about how depressed they are. It's fucked up. That's what it is. That's why people are committing suicide. No one wants to listen, no one wants to understand, no one wants to accept their own behaviours. All anyone cares about in this world now is their own selfish self-fulfillment. Emotions, bullshit. Emotions, there are no emotions, it's all calculations of self-satisfaction. That's all it is. Crying for what you want. You need liquid to hydrate you. Turn on a tap, have a glass of water. If you used to die of dehydration because all you want to drink is Coca-Cola, or all you want to drink is champagne, or all you want to drink is this, you'd be a fucking idiot. You see, you need liquid to hydrate you, but you want something to fulfill you. It's the difference. It's like advertising, seeing something and you want it. You don't need it. You want it. You cry because you ain't got it. Want. When you've got someone who barely can fulfill their own needs, the needs of survival, struggling, but that person is strong because they live without the basic needs of life. They function somehow in that mess that they've dragged themselves through every day fighting to stay when they haven't even got what they need, and you stand there moaning at them because you haven't got what you want. Fuck you and your wants. How many times I've tried to talk to my whole family, everyone who surrounded me. All those people come around me weren't people that I met, liked, chose to be in my life. All those so-called friends, they were people my brother met, people my brother liked, people my brother wanted around him. All come into the house to take drugs, do whatever they want, when they want, cause they want, for their route of escape. And that's what it was, their route of escape. I became little more than a piece of fucking furniture. Just sitting there for your self-fulfillment. Oh, I can't upset you, because if you get upset, my brother gets upset, my mum and dad get upset, and then I'm in trouble with everyone. Just sit there and let it happen. That's the only choice I had. I had a choice of no choice. Sit there and let it happen. And everyone wants to tell me I was alright, and we always had great times. No, all you're telling me is that you had a great time, so therefore you can't believe that I didn't have a great time. Every time someone says to me, oh, but we always had a good time doing this, we always had a good time doing that. Yeah, you did have a good time because I was always putting myself aside. Now you don't want to listen. I put myself aside in all those situations, but you don't want to hear that because it makes you feel bad. I know how weak and fragile you are because you was always crying on my shoulder. I know you inside out because you revealed yourself to me. I didn't exist. I didn't exist beyond being present. That was it. Until I could exist in a way that satisfied you. That's nice, isn't it? That's a nice way to treat people. And then when you've got to face yourself, face your own actions and deal with reality, you can't cope with reality. You don't want to deal with reality. You don't want to know reality. You don't want to face yourself. Don't show it, I won't know it. Don't be it, I won't see it. Don't play it, I won't say it. Respect what I have done, don't expect more than I can do, and never ever take my politeness for weakness. Or, fuck around and find out. How do you like me now? You don't like me. And that's the same bullshit I get with everyone. Oh yeah, I always lost playing your rules. Then when I said, hang on, let's change the game. My rules, you refuse to play. Then you sit there pretending like a winner because you cut me off. The only control you can have over me now is to have nothing to do with me, because in our interactions you can't control me and inflict on me. That's why you don't like me. That's why you don't have anything to do with me. Oh, and then you can run around to everyone else telling them what kind of a whatever I am. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? And then when I talk to them, oh, but this one said, oh, but that one said, but your dad said, but your brother said, but auntie so-and-so said, but cousin so-and-so said. Yeah, what about what I'm saying? What about what I'm saying? Oh, we can't listen to that. We can't allow you to exist. You should just be thankful to be present. That's the attitude I've got all my life from people. Telling me I need medical help, try and get medical help. What happens then? It doesn't help. It doesn't help you go to your GP and say, look, I need counselling, my whole life's been a mess. And he says, oh, but your family care about you. You can't be in a mess, you can't be in a mess, you come from a good family. I said to him, remember, it's about 6 years old, my mum wanted me tested for leukemia and stuff because I bruised so easily. It's like, see, your family cared, your family cared. No, I was being beaten really hard, I was being mentally and emotionally tortured. And what did you do? What did you do? You listened to them. You didn't even ask me a question. I'm there covered in all the evidence of abuse, and you didn't even ask a single question about abuse. You didn't even think about abuse. You facilitated, you enabled my abuse. I go to schools, teachers see me covered in bruises getting changed for PE. Oh, what's that? I don't know, my mum's taking me to the doctors about it. Talk to my mum, oh yeah, it's a medical condition. We're taking him to the doctors about it. You can check if you want. That's nice, isn't it? Then you see that everyone is against you. But from birth, you don't know no different. You're not born, you're given a handbook. This is how life should be. This is what your life should be. This is how your parents should treat you. This is what you should be getting. You don't know no different. And that's how my parents took advantage of me. That's how everyone else took advantage of me. Because I didn't know any different. I didn't know it was wrong. And then they see this one doing it, they see that one doing it, and they join in. Just the same as bullying. The nearest thing you get to anyone standing up for you when you're being bullied is people being silent. That is the nearest thing to someone standing up to you, because if they say anything, they'll become a target for the bully. And then other people, to protect themselves, join in with the bully, because they're too weak to actually bully anyone themselves. So they join in with the bully, and then they're part of that gang. Then it's 3-on-1, 4-on-1, 5-on-1, and the nearest thing you've got to support is people sitting there in silence, not saying a word. Yeah, that helps, doesn't it? That helps you all gang up. None of you have got anything about you on your own. None of you can stand up to a full grown man. None of you can listen to the truth. And the fact is, the only reason you inflicted on me so much as a child is because you can't cope with life. You've never been able to cope with life, and I was your coping strategy, having me to unload on. That's why you now can't cope with facing the truth. Well, every one of you that I've tried to talk to face to face, you don't want to talk face to face. You don't want to talk on the phone. Well, then let's put it out here in public. I'm going to make a series of videos. I'm going to make it absolutely clear why I'm going, why I've had enough, why I'm gone, so that way you can't blame me and lie about me once I'm gone. And then you'll all have to face yourself. You ain't having the satisfaction of such a level of control over someone's life that you caused the end of their life. That's the ultimate satisfaction for you. But you're not going to have that satisfaction. Yes, it might happen, but only after I know you've all faced yourself. Oh, you want to beat me up? You want to sexually abuse me? You interested in kids? Do you want to touch kids in that way, do you? Who knows who I'm talking to? It can all come out, nice and easily. It can all come out. How many chances did I give you to go to therapy? How many chances did I give you to say, let's sit down, let's talk it through, let's find a solution, let's have some kind of resolution, let's resolve this, and I can live with it as long as it stops. As long as you stop treating me this way, I can live with the fact it happened. As long as we sort out a way of moving forward without this happening, I can live with the fact it happened. You know, it's like losing a leg. You never move on from losing a leg. You move on with a leg missing. You see, I ain't going to move on from what you've done to me. I'll move on with it right there. Yeah, you might look at me and I'm not that little kid that you've done it to. in your eyes, but in my eyes, I'm exactly that person. I've always been that person. I never stop being that person. I don't escape this. I live in my head 24 hours a day. You escape it. Yeah, you escape it. What do? You find new victims. Well, then what happens when your new victim leaves you, leaves the country, takes your kids with her because she's not safe with you anymore? Oh, you want your old victim back. You're back in my life. Yeah, how about I recorded every one of our phone calls? How about I've still got all those texts? How do you like me now? You still want to play your silly games? You still want to run away? Seriously, trying to talk to people about the harm they've caused, trying to talk to people about what they've done to you, it's like dealing with a little child closing their eyes and saying, you can't see me because I can't see you. And no matter how many ways you explain you're still here, I can still see you, you can hear me, look, you can touch me, I can touch you, we're still in the same presence as each other, they don't want to accept reality. Because they think if they close their eyes, everything goes away. Well, wakey, wakey, people, open your fucking eyes. Here I am, here's the truth, it's coming out. And once you've all faced yourself, and I know what you've faced, then I'll be free to go without being blamed and lied. Because let's face it, no one gets out of life alive. Everyone who's died had the same thing wrong with them. They were alive. Life is a terminal condition. You know, we're already dead, we're just waiting for the event, and then you think it's a problem that someone chooses their event. No, it's a problem that you've existed as a drain on their strength. It's a problem that you've shit on them over and over again. It's a problem how you behave. It's a problem how you are. But they needed to be free from that. They were so mentally degraded and debilitated that the only freedom they could get from that was to end their life. If someone was in such a physically degrading, debilitated state, you could understand them taking their life. You could understand euthanasia. But you can't see the mind, can you? You can't see that. If that was a physical state, not a mental state, you'd understand it. You'd be able to see the injuries, be able to see the wounds, but that's why people inflict on your mind, because no one will ever see it. You know, it ain't like punching someone in the face and the ribs, they've got a black eye and broken ribs and they can go to the police. You inflict on someone's mind, where's the proof? Where's the proof? They can't pull their mind out and prove it, can they? It's the same reason why people lie, because you can't pull their mind out and show the actual structure and construction of the lie. You can just end up in an argument with someone who's a liar. And what they're going to do, they're going to keep lying. They've already proved they're a liar by lying to you in the first place. And all they're going to do is wind you up, and then people think they're getting something out of you. They think they're getting emotion from you. No, all they're getting from you is frustration. That's all you'll get from me is absolute mental frustration, because you are failing to deal with logic. You're failing to deal with reality. You're failing to deal with things like 2 + 2 = 4. You want to run around, play your silly games, close your eyes and think it's all gone away. Well, no, it ain't. But you think then when I get to a point where I have to have an outburst, you think you've got something out of me. No, you've caused me frustration. And, oh, but then you can blame me for the outburst. Or I know that's coming, so I shut down and I go away. Well, I'm not going away. I'm coming back. I'm making videos. I'm putting it out there to the world, and it can stay there forever. Be prepared to face yourself, because I'm not dealing with you anymore.